MD Imran opts for the Perk defense classical variation quiet system against Sethuraman in this Menorca Open 2025 Round 4 matchup. On D4. On D6. On E4. Knight F6. Threatening knight takes E4. Knight C3 played by MD Imran. On G6. Bishop E2. Bishop G7 transposed into Perk defense classical variation quiet system. Knight F3. King castled kingside. King castled kingside. On A6. Rook E1. Knight C6. On H3. On B5. On A3. Bishop B7. Bishop G5. On H6. Threatening pawn takes G5. Bishop H4 played by MD Imran. Knight H5. Bishop F1 it is novelty move. On G5. On D5. Knight B8. Threatening pawn takes H4. Knight H2 played by MD Imran. MD Imran is aiming to play. Bishop takes G5. Pawn takes G5. Queen takes H5 and seizes the initiative. Knight F4 played by Sethuraman. Threatening pawn takes H4. Bishop G3 played by MD Imran. On E6. Bishop takes F4. Pawn takes F4. On A4. MD Imran's idea is to play. Pawn takes B5. Pawn takes B5. Rook takes A8. Bishop takes A8. Pawn takes E6. Pawn takes E6. Knight takes B5 and increase their advantage significantly. On B4 played by Sethuraman. Threatening pawn takes C3. Knight E2 played by MD Imran. MD Imran is preparing to play. Knight takes F4. Bishop takes B2. Rook B1 and increase their advantage significantly. On E5 played by Sethuraman. On C3. On A5. Knight C1 take a moment to spot the best move for Sethuraman. On C6 is the right idea because pawn takes C6. Knight takes C6. Knight B3. Pawn takes C3. Pawn takes C3. Knight E7 position is equal. Let's explore the main line. Knight C1. Knight D7 slightly worse move played by Sethuraman. Pawn takes B4. Pawn takes B4. Knight D3. MD Imran might go for pawn A5. Pawn F5. Pawn takes F5 and dominate the board. Pawn F5 played by Sethuraman. Pawn takes F5. Queen G5. Knight takes B4. Knight C5. Knight D3. Knight D7. Knight B4. Knight C5. Knight D3. Knight D7. Rook C1. Threatening rook takes C7. Rook AC8 played by Sethuraman. Knight B4. Knight C5. Knight C6. Bishop takes C6. Pawn takes C6. Rook B8. Bishop B5. On E4. On B4. Rook takes b5. Pawn takes c5. Pawn f3. Threatening queen takes g2 mate. Pawn g3 played by MD Imran. MD Imran considers playing. Queen d5 check. King h8. Pawn takes b5 and gain a significant edge. Rook b4 played by Sethuraman. Queen d5 check. King h8. Sethuraman is aiming to play. Bishop d4. Knight f1. Rook takes f5 and gain a significant edge. Pawn h4 played by MD Imran. Threatening pawn takes g5. Rook takes f5 played by Sethuraman. Queen e6. Threatening pawn takes g5. Queen f6 played by Sethuraman. Queen c8 check. Pause the video and find the best move for Sethuraman. Queen f8 is a strong choice, since queen takes c7, bishop e5, king h1, pawn d5, queen d7, rook b8. Still Sethuraman is losing. Let's go to the main line. Queen c8 check. King h7 is not the best move played by Sethuraman. Pawn takes d6. Queen g6. Pawn d7. Threatening pawn promotes to queen at d8. Bishop d4 played by Sethuraman. Sethuraman wants to play. Queen takes g3 check. King h1. Queen g2 mate and dominate the board. King h1 played by MD Imran. Threatening pawn promotes to queen at d8. Bishop f6 played by Sethuraman. Queen takes c7. Queen f7. Pawn promotes to queen at d8. MD Imran is looking to play. Queen takes f7 check. Bishop g7. Queen takes f5 mate and secure a stronghold in the game. Bishop takes d8 played by Sethuraman. Queen takes d8. Rook d5. Threatening rook takes d8. On c7 MD Imran secured the win in style.